Now let's begin with definition of a state or state and nation. Now a state is defined as a politically organized group of people living within a particular area or territory with a government that is free from external control and has the rights and ability to coerce obedience from its citizens. Now here are some features of a state. First and foremost is population. Now when I say population, it means for a state to exist, it must have a particular amount of people living within its confines. Now, there is no minimum amount of people that should be there or any maximum amount of people that should be there, but people must exist for it to be regarded as a state. Then secondly, we have territory. Now, a state must possess a particular territory that has no limit to its size. It must just where the people, the citizens, the population live in. Thirdly, a state must have government, that is a machinery, agency, or body that steers the affairs of citizens or regulates its activities, its conduct. That way there can be a certain amount of stability or peace. Now, lastly, there is sovereignty. Now, these governments must be free from external controls. They must be able to make their own laws and enforce these laws without interference from outside nations or outside organizations. Now, let's talk about nation. A nation is a group of people that are bound by the same culture, principles, and heritage that are living within a particular territory. Now, it's easy, or most times, nation can be interchangeably used with state, but they are different in the sense that it lacks one quality that separates it from being a state, and that is the quality of sovereignty. That means they are not free from interference, from outside influence, which means at any point in time, their ways of life or their regulations can be interfered with or can be controlled. An example of a nation is South Korea. Now, let's move on to power and authority. Power is defined as the ability to control the actions of others through the means or possession of sanctions and force or coercion. Now, there are four types of power. The first type is political power. This is regarded as the most legal form of power. Now, this is the ability of a person, or this is the ability to steer the affairs of a state. Moving on, we'll go to physical power. This is regarded as naked power. Now, this kind of power is attained, or this kind of power is obedience attained through the use of coercion or force. Thirdly, we have economic power. This power is power gotten from having economic resources at one's disposal. Now, this person with economic resources at his disposal gives these economic resources in order to help or assist, and in return, he gets the obedience of the person he's giving the economic resources to. So let's consider IMF for example. Now, when they give loans to all the states that need these loans, they set certain guidelines that in turn conduct how these states that want these loans will have to act in accordance with how IMF puts down these guidelines. Lastly, you have military power. This power is gotten through a coup or extreme military action. Now, here are a few sources of power. First, power can be gotten through the constitution. Power can be gotten from a position of authority. Power can be gotten through coercion by force. Power can sometimes be gotten by charisma, and power can be gotten by having economic resources at one's disposal.